Alright guys, so today we're taking a look at an excellent thin case that's for all you minimalist case lovers out there for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. I love this case on the iPhone, and for the S25 Ultra it is no different, and we are taking a look at the Benks Armor Air for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Now, huge shout out to Benks for sending these over to me to review for you guys. The price on these cases range from $39.99 to $49.99, and all links are down in the description below, as well as I do have a discount code. I'll leave that right here. Use code Brian15 on Benks' website to save 15% off of your entire purchase. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, this is going to be the Montage. We also have the Prestige and the Aurora. Unfortunately, I do not have the Benks Armor Air 600D, the original version, but we'll make do with these. So taking a look, very classic Benks packaging here, protective phone case, Armor Air Montage for the S25 Ultra, and a little more information there on the back. So let's go ahead and just get this out of here. Now, the Montage is the one I've been using a lot more lately because the Montage is my favorite colorway of this case all the way around, but this is what we are looking at. Now, I did not wipe it down. I've been using it for the last few days, and this is what you're looking like with your fingerprints. Now, this is going to be an aramid fiber case, so it's going to show some fingerprints. So if that bothers you, aramid fiber may not be the style of case for you. But anyways, this is what we are looking like. You're going to have that 600D and 1500D patterns woven in here. You are going to get your metal camera ring right there, and it does say Montage Art right here. Now, real quick, I would like to see, I say this every single time, I want to see this Montage go away. I think that's unnecessary, and I think it's just a little bit of an eyesore here for the design of the case. And also, for the cutout, Benks, if you guys are listening, please make this an individual cutout camera ring. I'm not a huge fan of this big open cutout camera ring. It works, don't get me wrong, it'll still protect your phone, especially because the camera ring on this case is metal, but I really like the nice clean look of each individual camera lens and flash have its own individual cutout. So I'd really love to see that on the Benks cases. But anyways, this is what we're looking like on the back. On the inside, you're going to get that aramid fiber material here, and you do get your MagSafe and alignment magnets right there for your MagSafe or your Qi 2 accessories, and of course that aramid fiber going all the way around the rest of the case. Now you're going to get 3 relief slits, 1, 2, 3, to help you take the case off and put it back on. So let's talk about the weights of these. Now, I'm not going to measure them individually because I've already done that to save a little time on the video. So starting with the Montage Armor Air, the price on it is $42.99. It's going to be 26 grams and 9.7 millimeters thick from front to back. And from inside to outside, all of the cases, all Armor Air, are going to be 1 millimeter thick. So I'm not going to measure that. But like I said, those are the measurements for the Montage. Now going into the Armor Air Aurora. This one's going to be $49.99. It's going to be 24 grams and 9.7 millimeters thick. And then finally, the Prestige Armor Air. This one is going to cost $49.99. It's going to be 24 grams and 9.5 millimeters thick. So this is going to be the lightest and thinnest version of the Armor Air, but they're all so close in weight and thickness that you really won't feel the difference no matter which one you get. So those are the 3 colors that I have right now, and of course I will show you guys what they look like on the Ultra itself. But let's get back to the Armor Air Montage and go from there. So let's go ahead and take our jet black titanium S25 Ultra and we'll put it in here, and let's listen out for the click onto there. Pretty decent click on here. Each individual corner is going to snap on there nicely, which let's actually look at that. On the sides, of course, it's going to be super stiff everywhere around, so you have no issues there. Let's check out the corner. So 1, good. Camera corner, good. Good, and good. Every corner on here fits very, very well, and that's the same across all of the Armor Air cases. Benks nailed it when it comes to the fit of these cases. There's no loose corners, nothing pops out too easy, but it's also not impossible to take off. There are some thin aramid cases that are extremely hard to take off. Fortunately, the Benks Armor Air really nails it when it comes to the fit and when it comes to putting the case on and taking it off. So let's take a look around the sides of the case. Now, starting off at the top, you have your microphone hole here. Of course, you're going to get those cutouts that I said there. Left-hand side's completely closed in. The bottom of it, you're going to have your cutout for your S Pen, your speaker, your USB Type-C, and microphone right there, as well as another relief slit here. Now, when it comes to the S Pen, just taking it out, because this is a thinner case, it's easy to get the S Pen in and out. But Benks, if you guys are listening, I'd love to see this right here just be curved a little bit more so it's easier to get your fingernail in there to grab the S Pen. Now, when it comes to the thicker cases, that becomes a little bit more of an issue. But like I said, with these super thin style cases, it's really not a problem at all. Go ahead and take your S Pen out with no issues. And let's see how the S Pen works with the magnets. So just really quickly going along here, let's see. It looks like we were having a slight issue right there at the top. Let's try that one more time. And maybe that was a software issue. I have that sometimes. It's a little weird. But just taking a look, everything is pretty much good to go. So the magnets shouldn't really interfere into the use of your S Pen at all. So that is very nice to see right there. And then of course you can just put that right back in there. And then going along to the right-hand side, there's really no need to test the bottom USB Type-C port because it is a completely open cutout there. But the right-hand side, you're going to be closed in except for your power button, your volume up and down. No need to test those buttons because, of course, they are the buttons of the phone, but it's nice and easy to get to them with no issues. So let's take a look at how that MagSafe strength is going to be. Let's go ahead and bring over our Apple MagSafe wallet. Of course, we're not getting animations or anything like that, but here's kind of where we come into a slight issue. And this isn't just with the Benks case. This is with all S25 Ultra cases. You're going to get it covering your camera right there a little bit. But that is just something to note. So your MagSafe wallets may be a little bit incompatible with cases like these just because of the extra camera ring and of how big the camera is right there. But let's check out the MagSafe battery pack. We'll attach that. And it's kind of going to give us a light issue, as you guys can see, with MagSafe accessories right there. Now, will your accessories still work? Yeah, they're going to still work right here with your, MagSafe battery packs and all that. But of course, you give it a light little shake and it is going to come off. And then finally going over to our Anchor 623, just aligning that. That is going to be perfect right there to the camera lens. But don't worry when it comes to using your nightstand charger or your car mounts. This thing, no matter which one I've experienced, and I have a lot of them, this has not given me any issues with that. So with some MagSafe accessories, and of course that's because of how big the camera cutout is for the S25 Ultra, but it's really not even a fault of this case. That happens with a lot of cases. So it's hard for me to take points off of the Benks Armor Air for that because it's not a Benks issue. It's just because of how massive the camera area is of the S25 Ultra, but also how close the magnets have to be to the camera so the wireless charge coils can align correctly. But all around, how is this case? How do I like it? How does it feel? And do I recommend it? So, excellent to use, not a pinky destroyer at all. If you use your phone like I do, you hold it like this, you'll have no problems with that whatsoever. You're not really getting any screen or camera protection on here. A slight, tiny little bit of screen protection, but I wouldn't even call that that. I am using a full coverage tempered glass screen protector, and that's kind of what you get. But of course, for that camera ring, you're gonna get a nice camera bump right there. Like I said, it is metal, so it will protect that from pretty much any surface you set that down because it is raised up a decent bit there. But all around, this thing feels really good. I like how it has that nice soft texture on the aramid fiber, especially on this montage case. It almost has that like a little bit of extra grip to it, which I really like about that. Like I said, this is my favorite one of the designs, and it is really nice to use. So all around, I can definitely recommend the Benks Armor Air. So let's go ahead and take a look at those other colors. I know you guys saw the cases, but let's see what it actually looks like on the S25 Ultra. So right now, like I said, we are looking at the Montage Armor Air. And here is the Aurora Armor Air. So it's not gonna have that black metal camera ring, but it is still metal, and it's gonna be that like gunmetal color here. This just kind of from the sides right there. And this is what the Prestige is gonna look like here. So this one is definitely textured. All of these ridges here that you see are going to be textured. They're gonna add that little bit of extra grip on the sides and everything like that, so that's nice. These two are gonna definitely have, I keep putting it there and back, there and back. These two are definitely going to have the most grip out of the Armor Air. Now just taking a look at that camera ring, this one, like I said, is more of a gunmetal, whereas this one's kind of like a rose goldish. It's very different in, different lights. Sometimes it looks silver, other times it kind of looks like rose gold or slightly towards this color here, but it does look very good with the case. But like I said, this is kind of what they look like together here. And it's also going to come in that 600D version. So all in all, after all of that, do I recommend the case? Yes, I do. Besides the issue where it just has that some of the accessories go over top of the camera ring, unfortunately, that's just kind of one of those things, especially for a phone that's not really meant to have MagSafe built into it. The magnets aren't built in, so you can't really fault it too much. Like I said, I do have some other cases that certain accessories do get in the way with the camera ring as well, so can't really fault this case for it too much. But all around, I really like the Benks Armor Air. All of the devices I have it on, I like it. The S25 is no different. But let me know what you guys think about the Benks Armor Air down in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. That goes a really long way for me and allows me to make these videos for you. And if you guys want to see another aramid fiber style case that's going to actually offer a little bit more protection, but also has 3 customizable buttons on it, I'll leave that video right there. If you guys want to see a great screen protector, which is also by Benks, the one that I've been using on my phone right now, I'll leave that video right here.